working in tight-knit suburbs like Paddington, Surry Hills. It's not easy. There's no parking. You got the neighbours attached to you both sides. You're working on houses that were built 150 years ago. We don't know how they were constructed. We can't knock them down. We can only build from behind the facade onwards.
What's unique about building in the eastern suburbs?
Beachfront, harbourfront and the inner city. There's three key components and three very different types of builds and types of plots of land that we're working on. Like we've got the clay in the inner city from Surry Hills, Paddington. Then you come closer to the beach, we're building on sand. When you go to the Vaucluse, Bellevue Hill, etc., you'll find a lot of rocks.
What are some of the realities that people don't see when they look at a finished home in a magazine or Pinterest or Instagram?
How did it get there? It's not all rainbows and lollipops, I'll tell you that. Some things get to me on site, whether you take them home and to bed with you as well. You might be all night stewing on decisions or problems that have occurred during the construction phase. It's the joy in being a builder, I guess.
Welcome to Behind the Design, a podcast where we unfold the details behind the designs we know and love and explore how each project comes to life. I am Camilla Ingall, owner of Unfolded, an interior design and styling studio. In this podcast series, we dive into the details with our industry experts, covering topics such as the creative process, latest design trends, and how we, as an industry, work together to meet the brief and overcome challenges. Let the conversation begin.
Welcome back to Behind the Design, the podcast that explores the people and processes behind the spaces we love. I'm your host, Camilla Ingall, and today's conversation shifts slightly from the design studio to the construction site. While designers and architects often receive the spotlight, there's another layer to every project, the builders who bring those ideas to life. Today we're unpacking what that looks like in reality. In the eastern suburbs of Sydney, projects are complex. Heritage homes, tight sites, demanding clients, and detailed architectural plans mean builders are juggling logistics, teams, budgets, and expectations all at once. Jack, welcome to Behind the Design.
Thanks for having me, Camilla.
So you work across high-end residential projects in Sydney's eastern suburbs, mainly, and most of your projects are highly detailed and architecturally driven. What originally drew you toward construction as a career?
I guess it stems back from my early days at school. Big on carpentry, wood tech, those kind of subjects. The moment I finished school, I got straight into the trade industry. So I started as a landscaper. 6 months in, the weather was not cooperating, the money wasn't there, and I fell back into carpentry, which I guess I had a passion for during year 12 at school. 15, 16 years on, I became a builder. So
Team of 18, was it?
18 at the moment. Yes, we're growing. I guess, in the last year and a half, we've doubled in size. It's tough, especially with that growth, trying to manage 18 guys, I guess. From 8 to 18 it's been. So
You're on the admin?
I'm on the admin, I'm on site, I'm on a computer, I'm on it all. Yeah.
And so at what point did you realise you wanted to run your own company?
I guess when I left school, ended up in the carpentry apprenticeship. I started off in a bang. The first project I was ever involved in was on Burke Street. It was an old mechanic, which is now Surry Hills, Burke Street. It's an old mechanic. That mechanic is now transformed into a luxury home, which I believe last year sold for the record price on Burke Street. So the moment I got into the industry, I fell into, I guess, the high-end luxury market, working for 10 to 12 years as a carpenter in that industry, working in those homes consistently, I guess. You get driven. You want to come home to a home like that. I feel the only way to get to that point is going off on your own. You also get the freedom, maybe not the freedom anymore. You work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, but it can happen, I guess.
It's a type of freedom, though.
Yeah. A happy freedom or a tough freedom. It has its ups and downs, I guess. So I enjoy it. That's the thing. I enjoy building construction design. Hence why I'm up late at night, I'm up early mornings, I guess, quoting, invoicing, doing all the behind the scenes work.
So, working in Sydney's eastern suburbs, for people outside the industry, what's unique about building in the eastern suburbs?
Well, I guess beachfront, harbourfront, and the inner city, there's three key components and three very different types of builds and types of plots of land that we're working on. Like we've got the clay in the inner city from Surry Hills, Paddington. We're also working on very heritage listed homes in that area. Then you come, I guess, closer to the beach, we're building on sand. Then we're building when you go to the Vaucluse, Bellevue Hill, etc., you'll find a lot of rock. So there is different challenges in working in those areas, and I guess it's a very tight space as well. It's all within 10 to 15 minutes of each other. So there are challenges, and every day is different.
And so then pressures, expectations, clients, do they differ quite a lot with all these different areas?
I guess expectations do differ. Working in tight-knit suburbs like Paddington, Willara, Surry Hills, it's not easy. Like there's no parking. You got the neighbours attached to you both sides. You're working on houses that were built 150 years ago. So we don't know how they were constructed. We can't knock them down. We can only build from behind the facade onwards, extensions. And yeah, the expectation might be like a brand new home with this design that I guess cannot be achieved, but that happens in the design phase. They buy these properties thinking they can have everything, but they're only subject to what's in that confined space, I believe.
And, exactly what you're saying between maybe a new build and a renovation, especially with a renovation, you might start to unpack the existing framework. And then what do you find?
We've got a big one out there is rising damp. So they're built on old sandstone foundations. So that travels up the foundation into the brick wall. So it can be repaired 99% of the time, though. Yeah. And then from that, it stems to like the existing timber framework. Is it still usable? Moisture, it's all under the floorboards. It's all there. It's structural termites. It all happens out there. There's not many new builds in those areas, Paddington, Surry Hills, etc. No, it's 90% renovations. And that's where I guess our business is also 90% renovations.
Would you prefer it to be more new builds or?
We haven't had the opportunity yet. We're still a young company and they haven't really come across my table. But definitely that's what we want to do in the future. I guess some people say, I do speak to a lot of builders in the industry, they are the easier builds. You're not tying the old and the new in together and you're not unpacking a lot of things you didn't expect to find.
And how do you manage then, communication with clients, being the head of the business, being the client-facing person at JW Projects? How do you manage those types of conversations with clients? Hey, there's damp. Hey, there's moisture. We're going to have to limit what we do here.
Well, it all stems after the demo phase. So you got to be very transparent with what you come across and what you see. It all affects the budget, right? We can only estimate and quote on what's in front of us. We don't know what's under the floor and behind these closed walls until we unpack it all. You just got to be transparent. Communication is key in any industry, I believe.
You sound very passionate about what you do.
I've been doing it for a long time. I'm young. I believe I'm young, 36, but yeah, it's been 18 years in the industry, I guess now, and probably another 20 to 30 to go, right? So you got to be happy with what you do.
So a lot of our listeners are designers.
Yeah, behind the design, I can say.
Behind the design. From your perspective, what makes a great collaboration between builder and designer?
As a builder, I get to work with multiple designers. Like we run 6 to 8 projects at a time. We have a great team behind us and we work with a range of different designers at the one time. And I guess the challenge for us is they all design differently. We're working with different schedules. We're working with different sets of plans, different sets of documentation. But the thing about having a good relationship with the designers, I believe, is communication again and just an understanding of how they work. You can gauge that pretty quickly, I guess, when you start working with them. Like once you've done one job, the next job will be a breeze usually. And yeah, it's about having a great relationship from the get-go. You don't want to be butting heads from the start, otherwise there's problems.
Yeah, 100%. And it is because it's so collaborative. Like, I personally find it's very collaborative when I have a really good builder, whether I've brought them in or the clients brought them in and introduced me. I think it is a relationship because sometimes you're working together for a year minimum.
More sometimes, yeah. So, yeah, you don't want to be on each other's toes, that's for sure.
Exactly right. And where do you think then the boundaries sit between design and construction?
In a way where, like, who's in charge?
Yeah,
The designer's in charge. Well,
I love to hear
90%,
this.
90% of the time, I'm working for them. They've brought me into the project.
And they
not
usually
me
have-
bringing them into the project. Sometimes I do,
Okay.
depending on if the clients reached out directly to me or
Does that
vice
change
versa.
the relationship
I
then?
don't think so. Well, I'll recommend a designer I've previously worked with or would like to work with, right? I do like to have input in design. I love it, though not in front of a client ever. So that's behind closed doors, just face to face with a designer, because I might pick up on a few things, whether it's in the plans or whether it's on site.
Are they typically open to your suggestions? And
I believe so. I wouldn't say or speak otherwise. Yeah, I wouldn't open my mouth if didn't think it was the right idea.
I think it is important as well if a builder has brought in a designer or a designer's brought in a builder separate to the client, that you are a team, that you're a joint force.
Come as a package.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they don't expect you guys to be butting heads. So it's like you work together for the end goal, which is to deliver an amazing product.
And so the reality of construction then, what are some of the realities that people don't see when they look at a finished home in a magazine or Pinterest or Instagram?
How did it get there? How did you get to that point? It's not all rainbows and lollipops, I'll tell you that. Like some things get to me on site, whether you take them home and to bed with you as well. You might be all night stewing on decisions or problems that have occurred during the construction phase, things that have been uncovered in an existing building that you're still trying to figure out how to negotiate that into the ideas of the designer. But yeah, it's the joy in being a builder, I guess. The difficulty of being a builder.
So then, if you take that into your office, your team, how does that all work? Is everyone sort of similar to you in that quite open, collaborative way? Or
Well, we're lucky enough, like, we have an amazing team. I believe there's 18 of us, 8 of who are foremen. We're all local Eastern Suburbs boys. I'm the oldest in the team at 36. The bunch of boys we have, they are, I believe, all good mates now, just from working. If they weren't mates prior to coming on JW projects, they're mates now. And it's nice. They bounce off each other and get the job done. And they're happy doing the job. It's about having a good workplace relationship, I guess, with everyone in the team.
do you do all the hiring yourself?
Yeah, a lot of the boys come to me saying, all right, like, I've got a mate looking for work, yada, yada, yada. Get him on board, give him a start. If he's no good, see you later.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, you can figure it out real quick.
What would be something that you figure out?
I've hired and fired multiple people. I wouldn't call it fired, I'd just say it's time to go. Yeah. But it happens. Not everyone fits into the team, correct? Whether it's maybe not because of their ability either. It's maybe more got to do with just not gelling. They might be an amazing carpenter, might be an amazing foreman, but if they can't operate with our team, they're not going to be fit for the job. It's very rare it happens, right? Like, I believe I'm a good judge of character, and yeah, we're going good right now, so we'll keep it rolling.
That's it. Keep going with that. And you're often managing multiple projects at once. You were mentioning approximately 6 at once, was it?
Probably about 6, yeah, from small scale to the larger scale jobs.
How do you keep it all moving?
As I said before, it's the team we have. Like, we've got the young boys that maybe have been with us from the start, 5 years now, that have been with us since their apprenticeship all the way through to now fully qualified carpenters. And now I'm trying to get them into more of a foreman role. They're running the smaller scale apartment projects that we still keep going. And then obviously the more experienced fellas are doing the bigger scale full builds that we're doing, or full renovations, you'd say, with the young carpenters and whatnot bouncing between those projects at a time. me on the back end micromanaging it, you probably don't want to see that.
So reality.
Bit of a stress head, though it keeps me busy. As discussed before, if I didn't have that level of stress or work in my life, when it descales and we've only got 4 projects going at a time while we're waiting for new ones to start, I'm trying to find stuff to do. I enjoy it.
And so what is your routine then, your daily routine?
Daily
if you're
routine,
12
well,
hours of work?
12 hours, 10 to 12 we'll say. I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. I start the day whether I'm going for a run and a swim usually on the beach, coffee, computer, site by 7, 4 days of the 5. One day I'll solely spend in the office, which I work from home. It cuts the overheads having a home office, obviously. And then I'll knock off work probably 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock and do that routine again. I'm in bed by 8 o'clock every night. I'm worn out. No TV.
No TV.
No TV.
I'm with you on
That's
that.
the trick, I guess.
Yeah.
People need to get on board with that. No
I
TV,
know.
yeah.
Well, I'm finding that more houses that we're designing, we're doing less TVs.
I've got the TV. Whether it gets turned on is another question. So
Good to
yeah,
have in the background.
I believe that too. I believe sitting spaces are designed now for more like face-to-face communication rather than sitting there in front of the idiot box. Yeah.
And I think as well, fireplace areas, there used to be a lot of, fireplace on the left, TV on the right, or fireplace, the TV,
TV
above.
yeah.
And it's like,
What are you looking at, the fire or the TV?
yeah, I'm thinking, what are you enjoying? This episode of Behind the Design is brought to you by my interior design studio, Unfolded. At Unfolded, we design thoughtful, functional spaces and collaborate closely with the builders, suppliers, and makers who help us bring those spaces to life. You can explore our work at unfolded.com.au. So if we talk, industry challenges, build, design, construction, have you had many moments on projects where things just did not go to plan?
Recently, no, though. When we first started 5 years ago now, I've learnt to have excavation as a preliminary sum from now on in, as obviously we were working in the inner west and we hit clay and we just had an estimate to, I guess, excavate sand, as I was unfamiliar of that area. That blew out tenfold, that cost. And I've learnt to deal with and learnt to adjust in the business, as in maybe being more upfront with the client when this happens. Don't let it keep rolling and costs accumulating, yeah. And yeah, maybe just be a bit more careful of the surroundings. And
how did you manage it? What happens in that instance? Does the client get notified? They've got to find that money?
They've got, yeah, and then I guess we lost a lot. We took a big hit of that as well, to the extent of 70 grand. And that was very early on in the business. I lost a lot of sleep over it, but you live and learn. The project got finished. It ended up being an amazing project. So yeah, it's kind of, it could have been avoided just by communication.
Yeah.
Like as me, I came from a residential building background. I didn't come from a commercial background. So I was still learning the ins and outs of how to deal with contracts and contract negotiation and quoting, I guess. Like I was a very hands-on builder at the start, and now I speak to a lot of people. I learn, and I'm trying to adapt to it. I'm trying to learn to spend more time on the back end. It's hard when you got ADHD and you got to keep moving. So, but I'm getting there. I feel like I'm improving.
It is tricky with quoting. I don't think anyone finds it easy.
No, especially when you're quoting renovations, not new builds. You don't know how that house got built or what's behind the closed wall. So, like I said before, so
A lot of grey
it's a
areas.
bit of guesswork, but it can be revisited once demolition, I believe, is complete. And then I think it's time to revisit that original estimate then and there, as things may have changed.
So I'm hearing you, talk quite a bit in hindsight. Are there many tips there that you would give to your younger self now that you know what you know?
Don't jump headfirst into things. Maybe think a little bit more. I'm a big one of I do first and think later. Does that benefit your life? I don't know.
It's questionable.
Or you can think first and do later, but you may never do. So
Interesting.
It's-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a really interesting perspective.
I believe, there's two people that in life, and they're the two, especially in the business world. Whether I'm doing this construction company for business or just for passion, I think it's a bit of both.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I think you've got to have a
I
bit
think
of
you've
passion.
got to love it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going home angry all day for no reason at all. You got the shits about something, especially when there's 8 projects on the line. And my team do cop a fair brunt of it as well.
Well, they would
yeah.
feel it too, energetically, if you were just not happy or content.
At least one day a week, we'll give them that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we have touched on it, but if there's anything else you'd like to, add to the navigating difficult site conditions, council approval, obviously DACDC, all of the stuff that you and I deal with, and even neighbours during a build. Like you said, the neighbours on either side of a terrace in Paddington, like,
Yeah, and then obviously you're disrupting the neighbour's property, you're disrupting the neighbour's way of life. It's tough.
and a joint wall sometimes,
yeah,
right?
it's- What can you do? And it's like, at the end of the day, we're doing our job. The fact that we're sandwiched between two families, they don't like it. Who would? But it's life, right? At some point, they're going to renovate their home, or they have already renovated their home. So, yeah, you come across neighbours that aren't happy from time to time, and I guess it's just part and parcel of construction, especially in the eastern suburbs when everything's built on top of each other. You probably don't get that on the outer skirts of Sydney. There's space to breathe. Here there's not. So, yeah, you can't keep everyone happy.
And would you take a job from, say, Camden?
Where's that?
That's so good. Like west.
West,
West,
southwest.
Yeah,
I haven't
south.
been out there. No, I honestly haven't. Is it near Blacktown?
Or like Wetherall Park.
I
You
know.
probably heard it.
I've
There's a
heard of
lot
it. They've got the dogs out there, like the greyhounds. Yeah. I get out there. I go south and north,
Okay.
inner west. Stop. For building now, we're solely focusing on the eastern suburbs of Sydney. The inner west, we're kind of steering clear of now.
After the clay.
Not after the clay. It's just it's the travel time, 30 minutes. If we're operating 6 to 8 projects at a time, I feel within 10 to 15 minutes of each other. Like sometimes we're lucky we got 2 on the same street. So
Oh, dream.
it's just easy. It's easy to move materials around. It's easy for the boys to get to and from site. If we need a big push from time to time, they can swap sites very easily. That extra travel time does throw a bit of spanner in the works as well.
And I imagine, it's up to you as it is up to me as the owner of the business to navigate logistics, right? And be across that, because your guys would just show up wherever they're told to show up. Whereas
Yeah,
you've got to be
we
like,
try to organise that the day before.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a few group chats getting around within the company, then I guess I can kind of sort it out. I don't want to message at 8 o'clock at night consistently. I'm asleep by then.
that's true. You have said that. And so, so being a builder in the East, there's things like Lux listings and all these really high-end shows that give exposure, let's call it, to these incredible builds. And I personally feel has gained a lot of, in terms of perspective from internationally, pretentiousness. There's a lot of pretentiousness.
For the eastern suburbs of Sydney.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah. So how does that impact? Because you seem like quite a grounded kind of guy.
I wouldn't say grounded, but we'll
No.
go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Um,
What does grounded mean?
like you're pretty, like,
Down to earth.
yeah, like you're a bit
Yeah.
like, look, it is how it is.
It is what it is,
Yeah,
kind of.
that's
yeah.
pretty
Black
grounded
and white
mentality.
Jack, yeah. I say it how it is. We get on with it,
If you look at the eastern suburbs,
Yeah.
there is a pretentiousness, and something like that show creates even more of a pretentious vibe. I'm wondering how often you're coming across that, how you're navigating that. You're building these homes.
I guess I've seen it. I've been here my whole life in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, and even from your high school days between private schools, like there was a pretentiousness from a young age between people. With work, I don't know, you've got those suburbs that are top dollar, right? Where everyone wants to live, the harbour views, Bellevue Hill, Vaucluse, etc. Are those areas pretentious? I guess they are. Bondi Beach, Bronny Beach, Clovelly, not so much. I believe the pretentiousness in people, in the cars they drive, in what they wear, is in the Double Bay, Bellevue Hill, Vaucluse scene. I'm still a surfer by heart from back in the day, so I didn't spend much time in those areas growing up, but now that I am spending a lot of time up there working, like you do see it a lot, there's Porsche after Porsche and Land Rover after Land Rover, so it's there for a reason. Yeah, everyone's trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it is interesting. I've moved back to the Central Coast now.
Yeah.
But I was in Neutral Bay, lived in Rose Bay for a little bit, dabbled, short-lived.
Yeah, didn't last long. It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
You're a
Was not
coast girl
me.
through and
I
through.
am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Lismore, so I'm more of a
that's
country.
that's not coast.
No,
No.
it's country.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, you go through different phases in life, right? And you live in different areas. Well, I definitely have.
Me not so much.
Yeah, you've
So I've been
Bondi
stuck there.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you do learn a lot about yourself, by doing that. And I think
And people come and go and
that's it.
in
But
and out.
you
yeah.
gain different perspective as well of, like I say, I was in Bondi so much when I was in the East. And then I've taken that step back from it. And then you watch these shows and, and that's where it's like, oh, is there that stigma or is it this pretentiousness? But like you say, it's different areas exist in this zone.
Yes.
And there is that kind of label that gets put on it that may not be overly accurate.
And for me being there for so long, I probably don't see it as much as people that have just moved into the East. As like, for me, it's just blows straight out of my eyes, I guess. Like it's just part of my life. So it's probably not as noticed on my end, to be honest. But it's there. Yeah.
And so if we circle back to, your involvement in any design work, say the interior designer said to you, hey, what do you think of this? How much are you wanting to sort of engage in that? Are you interested in learning about the timbers and the materials and things like that? Or are you more just logistically this will work?
I'd love to throw my 2 cents in. I recently had an opportunity to do my own property in Bondi, and I took on the interiors and styling myself. I don't know if I hit or miss with it. I guess the feedback's been good so far, but it's something I guess I took a bit from all the different designers I've had a chance to work with from time to time, and I had a chance to express my idea of what my home should look like instead of someone else's idea. It was a fun time, and I want to do it again. So I'm excited. I'm excited to keep giving that a crack, though. Also, for the bigger scale projects, I'll leave that to the designers. That's their specialty, right? I'm a builder at the end of the day, or maybe not just a builder.
So if we look at, some of your projects to date, obviously you've got your own property.
Yeah.
What would be another favourite project to date?
We've just completed it for Nina Meyer and Meyer Sternberg Architects,
Beautiful,
tucked away in Bellevue Hill there. A pocket which is sought after with, I guess, panoramic views from Hermitage all the way to Sydney Harbour Bridge across the bay. That's just been featured highly in Vogue Living, which I believe everyone involved in the project is stoked about. That's been a year and a half in the making.
Amazing.
It's beautiful. I love it. It was a battle axe property, so the access was terrible, but we got there in the end. Like, it has its problems. So, well, it had its problems. It's done now. So
And were
happy
you
days.
client facing with these ones, or is it
No,
more
we're dealing
Nina Meyer?
dealing with Nina and Colin, the architect, who are very helpful on a daily basis. Even there was questions to be asked and there was answers to be given, and it happened very smoothly. So
That's what you want.
that's what kept the project flowing. There was no stopping. Yeah.
Looking ahead then, where do you see your business evolving?
At this moment, like, I believe we're pretty happy where we are, I guess, in the tier 3 building market. There is the opportunity to go out and do the bigger multi-res, 3-level, single-level or 3 single-level apartment kind of builds. So I don't know if I want that stress on my head just yet. I do look at a lot of builders out there like J Corp and Bellevard, who I both spent time with in my younger days, and they are taking those bigger projects on. For me, I mean, I guess a smaller niche at the moment where we're happy with the still, I say, big projects, but not to that stature. They're huge developments. Right now, we don't have that back end office set up for that. In the future, will we? I don't know. I might wake up one morning and go, let's go. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Are you quite a decisive person?
To a point. I also change my mind a lot because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? And the opportunity might come up of me doing my own developments, and then I won't be able to say no to the bigger scale projects. So we'll just have to see what happens.
And so, yeah, my next question was, do you see yourself moving into design and development? But I guess you'd kind of, unless there's anything else you want to add.
Yeah, well, that is my goal, to do my own projects. When will it happen? I'm hoping it'll happen this year.
And that would be you buying an existing property.
Whether we knock it down, whether we do an extensive renovation, and then engaging the architect, engaging the designer. It'd be on a scale too big for me to do what I just did on my own. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Did your team help you with your property?
Yeah, they're legends. I snuck over to Europe for a little bit during that build, and I had them going there, but they're well rewarded for it. Yeah. The young boys got it done.
And do you have any architects or interior designers that you've always dreamed of working with?
Oh yeah, like I've had their plans on my desk before, and it's been Luigi Roselli.
Oh, I don't blame you.
They had a Fletcher Street project that's actually getting built currently at the moment, and they came across my desk, had a look at it, and I just wasn't in a position to bite the bullet. It was been a year and a half ago now. Do I regret it? Seeing how much those builders are struggling on that tight site, probably not. It's a very, very tight site, but it will be an amazing design and an amazing build when it's done. But yeah, maybe one day, hopefully, it can happen. It's amazing detail in those builds, and he's very well known for it.
Before we wrap up, if you weren't building homes, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
I haven't really thought about that, though. One avenue would be playing probably golf poorly. I don't see myself being anything other than a builder right here and right now. Like I said, I've been in this industry since a young age, since leaving school, and I've never thought of doing anything else. So it's very tough for me to answer that.
I mean, it speaks volumes, really.
I'm racking my brain right now, and I can't think of a thing I'd rather be doing.
All right, so we love to wrap up with 3 questions in under 3 minutes.
Beautiful.
A few fun ones I haven't prepped for. Are you a late night worker or an early starter?
We've addressed that. An early starter, yeah.
Go to bed at 8 p.m.
Back in the day, maybe a bottle of wine and a bit of work, but those days are over now. It's the 4 a.m. sessions.
What's an unexpected guilty pleasure outside of building?
I do like a good time, so whether we go down the pub on a Friday arvo with the boys and have a few beers and watch the footy, like, you can't say no to that. Yeah, exactly.
Love that. And if you could swap lives with any creative for a week, who would it be?
Pharrell Williams, for the designer Louis Vuitton. You didn't want me to say that, did you?
No, it's fun.
It's not interiors. But yeah, I follow that guy and I see what he's doing, and I believe it's incredible. He's also got the same last name as me, so it goes hand in hand.
So what's he doing for Louis Vuitton?
He's a head designer.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, have you seen the catwalks he's been on, the fashion?
I have noticed them, but I didn't know he was behind it.
It's Pharrell Williams. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The fashion world is a different sector of design. They still got to build clothing.
That's it. Yeah. Just different.
Just different. It's creative.
It is creative. Well, that wraps up our episode.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Being on. That's been really good.
Something different for a change.
Yeah.
Beats the construction site.
That's good. Today's conversation highlights something important. Great design doesn't happen in isolation. It requires collaboration, trust, and an incredible amount of work behind the scenes. You can explore more of Jack's work online and on Instagram. I'm Camilla Ingall, and this has been Behind the Design.